What was the most obvious itter you have ever seen on Ater, excluding Rajabait? The recent one where he uninvited his friend to his wedding because the friend lost his arm in an accident and that would draw the spotlight away from the couple. There was this guy who divorced his wife while she was in the hospital. He thought she was terminally ill because she wasn't her old self. He then, in a matter of months, married a co-worker the wife always felt a little sus about. When Douche found out his wife not only recovered, but got her life together and basically had a mental and physical glow up, he started wondering if he should try shooting his shot with her again. Selling his brother's Pokemon cards for 5k, then not giving his brother the money because he found them while helping him move. Shout out to our AmItheAsshole if you want some really painful reads beyond the typical itter. One dude's girlfriend committed suicide because he lied about helping her move to his country and she had quit her job, etc. in preparation for moving. He just complained about it being hard on him. One dude was like Ater for not promoting my longest serving, overqualified employee and instead giving the job to my son who just graduated college. Dude got roasted and downvoted to oblivion. So many good ones already suggested. The one I first thought of was the American guy who had been living in Germany for 15 years yet didn't speak a word of German and didn't want any future children with his new GF to learn either German or the third language she spoke. His older children back in the US only spoke English and it wouldn't be fair to them if their new half-siblings were different, so everyone should just be monolingual in English. I don't know if this was Rajabait or not, but probably the GF who got mad at her boyfriend for not coming with her on a trip. But she conveniently left out a detail. He was recently diagnosed with Ewing sarcoma. The one where the guy thought that his GF who was working to be a dermatologist was being shallow for having lots of skincare products, because she was pretty enough without them, so he bagged them all up and threw them out. She had her own bathroom. It wasn't like they shared one and he had no space. He threw out some stuff her deceased father had bought for her as well and then questioned why she was mad at him. I keep thinking about the guy whose girlfriend spent her entire week's food budget to make a lasagna and offered her boyfriend some. He ended up taking the whole thing to feed his buddies, which left her with no food and no way to get food. I sure hope this was Rajabait. The guy that was obviously in love with his new guy friend and turned his spare room into an art studio for him and gave him a key without discussing it with his wife. In the update he announced that he's leaving her for him, to the surprise of no one. The woman who refused to take her boyfriend to the hospital for his broken leg after he fell from the roof. She even told him he was being dramatic. Mind you, she was working at home when he asked her to take him to the hospital and didn't check on him for 6 hours. The only reason why she knew he went to the hospital was due to her boyfriend's friend coming over to take him. And to top it off, she got angry because the friend told her she was negligent. The woman who went on a trip without her BF, both were invited, and made it out like he was just being mopey and possessive. Turns out she didn't mention that he was diagnosed with a cancer with a low survival rate and that he didn't want to go on a trip cause of it. This mother pepper sprayed a Costco worker for essentially saying, "Mom, you just shoplifted." Bridezilla demanded that girl dye her hair a more natural color, because being a natural redhead wasn't natural. I have been in that subreddit for so long, to the point I have more than one. Some guy uninvited his friend to his wedding because he lost his arm in a car accident, thinking he would take all the attention away from him and his wife too. Someone got his girlfriend deported. 3. A woman didn't let her brother who hadn't slept for 2 days straight get some sleep because her kids wanted to play with him. I left that subreddit yesterday. Best choice of my life. The woman who mixed all of her Asian boyfriend's rice into a single container and outright refused to believe that the different varieties were, different. Like, seriously, not knowing that basmati and jasmine rice require different cook times and water content is one thing, but breaking your partner's boundaries, reorganizing their stuff without their permission, and then getting mad when hundreds of people tell you how badly you just f***ed up? That takes some next level self-absorption. Oh, the girl who mixed all her boyfriend's rices into one container. Subsequently, the guy who mixed all his wife's different coffee beans into one container. Oh, and the dude that mixed all his girlfriend's spices into one container. People really need to stop mixing other people's together. This guy only liked to hang out with his sons because they did activities together that he liked. He was wondering if he was an ass for ignoring his daughter for pretty much her entire life because he didn't like playing house or tea time or some. I got banned from ATA for saying something messed up about a woman who messed with her son's GF's birth control while they were camping so she'd get pregnant because she wanted a grandchild. There's a few from time to time and a segue I will post. There was some really weird. I remember one guy was upset that a girl he liked, who didn't like him, took her shirt off when it was warm, so he tossed the shirt in the trash, and she was forced to walk home late at night while in her underwear. A guy who yelled at a girl because he offered her a ride home, but she refused, so he started to yell at her that he wasn't a rapist or something. Might have been Rajabait, because if I recall the post got removed. This last one wasn't too bad. Probably the one about his wife asking if she was the arsehole for demanding that her husband wear his wedding ring right after he woke up from surgery. The guy who ate all of the 6-foot sandwich, near enough, at a UFC watch party. Not as egregious as some of the others, but just utterly out of touch in terms of his behavior and how it comes across to others. The guy who got his girlfriend deported. She ended up killing herself. The one about the bride who skimped out on providing food at her wedding to be able to have Mickey and Minnie make an appearance. That bride who was pissed off that her friend who was supposed to be her maid of honor didn't want to be in the wedding because the guy who raped her was the best man. There's the story of the guy who figured that his pregnant girl would grow to love him and the baby, neither of which she wanted, and then tried to sue her to take custody from him.